Good morning. We're about to have a pretty crazy, cool, awesome adventure. I am headed to East Tennessee to hook up with Mr. Alex Rudd from Alex Rudd Fishing. We have been trying to get together for a long time, and I'm gonna just go ahead and shoulder all the blame for it happened up to this point, just because I've been busy. But you know, in this whole process of turning over a new leaf, there's no longer going to be a such thing as being too busy to fish. So getting on the road, heading to East Tennessee to hook up with Mr. Alex Rudd Fishing. Here we go. Fish on! All right, so listen, I've been trying to hook up with this guy for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
Ever since I found out about his channel. This is Alex Rudd Fishing, if you don't know. And so here's what I love about this guy. When he talks, it reminds me of my wife. Now, I'm gonna quantify that because you guys can run buck wild with that, but here's the thing. We're gonna do an East Tennessee language check real quick, right?
All right.
Because this is what my wife deals with all the time. So you like this little arm where I can get a little further out there now?
Pull that out there, I like that.
So anyway, so listen, what is the opposite of dark?
Day, light.
Light.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of left?
Right.
And what's that thing on top of your camera that's broken?
A mic.
Mic. See what I'm saying? So here's the thing. There is a whole extra letter in the East Tennessee alphabet. It's like a, you know how there's the I with the straight bar, which is the long I, and then there's the soft I with the thing. Tennessee's got like an I that's got like the soft thing and the line and a little exclamation or a little asterisk. It's like an I. It's like a rye. How do you, what? It's like an I-A-A.
Yeah.
So it's like right.
It's one of those things that I'm a 5th grade teacher, and so I gotta like get on to my kids for saying it, and then I'll go, all right, somebody turn out the light for me, and they're like, Mr. Rudd, you said light again, and I'm like, well, this is the way we say it.
Right. And here's the other thing. Christy gets this one a lot. So, what is it that you leave for somebody when you die?
A wheel. What's
the thing on your vehicle that makes it roll?
A wheel.
And then the other one is what's those things made out of dirt that go up high and you climb them?
A hill.
Yeah. And then what is it when you get sick but you get better?
When you get sick but you get better.
Yeah, you have to get better, you have to what is it called? You have to heal.
Oh, heal.
Yeah.
Heal. They say you got heal.
Heal.
Let me tell you.
Heal, and heal.
What?
Wheel, and wheel. In Tennessee, those words are not different. They're all the same words.
What Southern language does to you is realize how screwed up English language is.
Right.
That you got will, and will, and they all mean 3 very different things.
But what Christy does is puts an extra syllable in wheel. Wheel. It's a wheel.
It's a wheel.
And a wheel. And hey, baby, can you fix me something to eat? I will in a minute. You know what I mean?
In a minute.
So it's like a E-L. It's weird.
I love it.
So anyway, I love me some East Tennessee. We're going to end up neighbors at some point because Nashville is blowing up like crazy. There's so much more water in East Tennessee. And a lot of the fisheries that I fish are a little bit closer to here. Dude, look how backlit you're like. You're like, oh, it's like a beard halo.
Yeah,
I know it's like
that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So anyway, guys, listen, we just unloaded the kayaks here at the put in. We're about to run shuttle to the takeout. Where are we fishing today? What river is that right there running by?
Holston River.
Cool.
So what's awesome about the Holston is the Holston and the French Broad converge to form the headwaters of the Tennessee River. And from here, you can go all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. This is the entire Tennessee River system. This is the birth of it. Right?
We're not doing that today.
Not doing that today.
But you could do that.
Yeah.
Dude, we should put together a float trip expedition where we float from the headwaters of the Tennessee River all the way to the Gulf of Mexico.
Let's do it.
Catch a catfish, a walleye, bass, striper, and then go catch some saltwater fish,
and then,
all in one trip.
Maybe get eaten by a bull shark somewhere along the way.
Now let's talk about this real quick since we said we were going to talk about it. All right, so what do we got going on right here? This looks like some Wile E. Coyote stuff right there.
This is some East Tennessee custom modification stuff right here. What happened was I got my brand new Old Town kayak, 12 foot long, right? It's a 12 foot kayak. It's a 12 foot trailer. I didn't take the rudder into effect with my trailer. So I had about an extra 4 inches, and I thought, well, instead of taking that trailer back, I'll just take some bolt cutters, and I cut me a little custom hole right there. And
so you didn't do that with a plasma cutter? You just bolt cuttered it?
I just bolt cuttered it, yeah.
Sweet.
Plasma cutter. Who needs a plasma cutter? That's very ingenuity.
Mike, time for shuttle. Let's do this. Before you watch the rest of the video, just go down to the link in the description box, go follow his channel, go watch his latest smallmouth video. So listen, that smallmouth video gave me anxiety. I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
In the beginning of the video, he's got this really long hanging drone shot. And you're like, oh yeah, you see this slick water, clear water, it's super slick, this tiny little boat. And then you started fishing. And then I'm thinking all through the video for like 12, 15 minutes, I'm going, please tell me this dude put the drone up to get some of the overhead of this sick spot that he's in. Yeah. But you didn't until like 17 minutes or something. But I was starting to get anxiety. I resisted the urge to grab the slider and just slide forward, but I was like, don't tell me he was so hung up on the fishing, which would have been totally excusable, that he didn't pop the drone up. But it was sick. Go watch the video that he just, actually go watch all of his videos. But listen, this dude just gave me a, what would you call it? A varsity clinic on TikTok. He's like, dude, you ain't on TikTok? And I was like, I don't need another social media platform.
Yeah, you do.
But here's what's funny. That's actually probably closer to the real me than anything else that I do, is just getting an active fool on TikTok. So I created a TikTok account standing right here in the dirt at the boat ramp. And then Alex showed me how to do the first video. So y'all do me a favor, go follow Alex Rudd Fishing on TikTok, and then go follow yours truly at Chad Hoover Fishing on TikTok. And I'm gonna, is it TikTok it? I'm gonna TikTok it up. What do you say? What's the vernacular?
Honestly, I don't know if there is vernacular. We're gonna TikTok it up, I guess.
You know how you say you Facebook somebody or whatever?
Yeah, I guess we're gonna TikTok.
We're gonna TikTok?
Yeah, we're gonna TikTok.
If you guys know what the actual name is, if you're younger, tell me what the right word is when you say you're gonna
go TikTok.
You're TikToking? Anyway, so right now we're not gonna TikTok. We're gonna get on the river and fish. Here we go. All right, guys, so we're on the river. And if you get a little leg in the shot every now and then, I apologize for that. I'm gonna try to keep the camera set to where you don't get the gutter shot. But yeah, we're on the river. This is my happy place. So you ask yourself, I wonder where Chad Hoover wants to be right now. And it doesn't even matter if I'm on a lake, smashing bass. I like being on the river. I might think about the river while I'm on the lake. Yes, I definitely do. Little known fact is people don't realize how good of a dancer I actually am. And apparently dancing does really well on TikTok. So I might have to break out the dancing skills. Plus I used to be a Coach's Shorts model back in the day. I'm gonna skip them up on the fluke on them and do her on up. But right now what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna throw one of these here crawfish baits. So Alex, I don't know if you know this or not, but one of the primary food sources is the American crawfish.
Yeah, I would say it probably is.
The American crawfish, not to be combined, not to be confused with, or not that there's any prejudice against other crawfishes or crustaceans, but the American crawfish is the one that the bass love the most. You need to get one that's got painters and it just looks like a crawfish. And then what I'm doing is I'm putting a little juice on it, because that's one of the things that the kids say nowadays is that's the juice. Well, this legitimately is the juice. It's the Diatract crawfish scent with the crazy craw from Diatract on it, and it's gonna produce today. This creek has got to have skunk remover in it. If things don't change, I'm gonna have to resort to a Ned rig.
I've already picked it up. Oh, you see that?
Oh my God, there is a carp right here about 7 foot long. He's back there fishing with a French fry on a ball head jig, also known as a Ned rig. All right, so Alex started us off with a Ned rig smallmouth, so let's go ahead and pan it around there to get that.
Look at that pretty little
Ooh, look at that thing. Look at them colors.
So pretty,
look at them legs.
Yeah,
and then,
pasty whites.
And then look at them colors.
I'm telling you, man, I love these fish. These river fish are beautiful. They're just different, man. I mean, they're just, You look at a smallmouth normally, you know, they're short, they're fat, they're eating behind us. But these smallmouth, that's where they live in this river their whole life. They're just long and narrow. And I mean, you know, it's nothing to catch 21, 22-inch smallmouth up here in this river just because they're so long, skinny, and they're like torpedoes. They're built for speed, built for the river. So.
Also known the exact opposite of me. Let me know if you get tired of the slow-mos. I mean, I'm not gonna stop doing them, but just let me know if you get tired of those slow-mos, because I think they might be the coolest thing ever.
I'm not gonna stop doing them.
Of course I'm not gonna stop doing them. They're just cool.
Yeah, you know, I do slow-mos with my beard running down the lake all the time. Drives the women wild. Don't got anything to say, do you? It's freaking speechless.
I just needed you to get your fish out of the way. I hate catching the first fish. It's like a first fish jinx, you know? So I appreciate you taking one for the team.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you are the host of this trip, and I'm the guest. So you have to, I'll tell you.
Probably in for you. We're probably going to start just smoking them here in just a minute.
I mean, that's the goal, in theory, you know? I'm gonna start out here on the end again, but I'm gonna work my way back to the trunk back there with some plastics too. Are you fishing it?
I'm fishing out
here. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh. Yeah, baby. I said, there's got to be a smallie in that tree right yonder. So I tied on a crankbait and throwed it up in that tree. And look at this joker, tail walk. Son, if you want to see an example of when a bass wants a crankbait, I'm about to show it to you. That's how you know a bass wants a crankbait. Right there, when it's all the way down their throat, son.
What you got there, old son?
I got myself one of them small jaws. And that joker ate a crankbait like it was his job. There it is, in the back pool, over the top. Come on up here, baby. Look at that, over the top. So I have been flat killing them on this Diatract craw bait. It's called a crazy craw. I'm gonna show you how I rig it and then talk to you about Diatract for just a second. And then I'm gonna get back to fishing. So look, here's how this thing works. It's called the crazy craw because, well, it's a cool name. But it's a crawfish bait that looks super realistic, and it's got a cavity inside of it like a tube. And you might not be able to see it there, but there's a piece of foam in there that I took out of a camera box, and I soak it with the Diatract scent so that when I throw it out, it's nice and clean. So I like to rig it on these mustad grip pin hooks, and that grip pin sits right in behind the tuck in the tail, right there, so that little V. So what I'll do is I come in through the tail just like so, turn it out, and then I spin it up over that grip pin, and that locks it right there on the tail. What's also cool is the hook eye is exposed, so that tungsten clicks against it, and it gives it a click like a crawfish. So then you just take that hook and come inside that cavity, just like so. You guys can see that right there. Come inside that cavity, and then you're just gonna bring it out through the nose, just like any other Texpose setup. And then that hook just lies right on top of the back, just like that, and you just barely skin it. And man, when you throw that thing down, especially with that piece of foam in there, when it hits the bottom, it sits up like a crawfish in a defensive posture, just like that, and they can't stand it, man. They can't stand it. But the unfair advantage is this stuff right here. It is called Diatract, and that stuff right there is flat, deadly. I'll talk to you more about this in an upcoming video, but this stuff is, it's called sense surge technology. It's not an attractant. An attractant only makes fish come eat it if they're hungry. This actually makes them want to eat. So this stuff is deadly. Diatract, and this is the all species formula number 10. So far I haven't used any of them that didn't work, so this stuff is deadly. And then all I do is I just squeeze some of it into that little thing, and the bait is marinated in it first. Throw it out there and just plan on getting your arm broke. That's all. So guys, listen, Alex just hollered and asked me a question. He said, hey, have you ever rigged a Z-Man plastic straight? I told him that, first of all, that's Evel Knievel's next stunt, is to try to rig a Z-Man straight. But I actually told him, I didn't know if you guys know this or not, little known fact, but it's called Z-Man because when you rig it, it's gonna have a Z in it, man. Like, that's the name, I think. Anyway, don't believe everything you hear on the internet, but do throw one of these crazy craws because that thing is deadly. All right, guys, so check this out. I really like to throw the green pumpkin with the red fleck in it, but honestly, once the sun gets up to the point that there's a lot of sun, I don't like a bait that's got that much glitter in it. So what I'm doing is I'm switching to this green pumpkin with the black fleck in it, and the water is like, it's clear by a lot of standards, but it's not clear by Tennessee River standards. It's a little bit muddy, a little bit murky, so that little bit darker bait is going to profile in there better. And this rock has actually got a light kind of moss green color to it, and Alex is hooked up over there. Look at you, son. And that darker bait is going to contrast better against that chunk and shale rock bottom. So I'm expecting my catch rate to increase substantially. Yeah. Just look how pretty those fish are, man. Just unbelievable, gorgeous fish. My backyard. You guys just look how pretty this stuff is here. Look at that bluff wall right there. Man, zoom in on it. Ain't that just pretty? Just pretty. Yeah, out here you got all this prettiness, and then bam, that dude paddles into the frame. What the heck? We should do a Bigfoot hunting episode. Well, guys, if you look back here, the sky is black. The camera's kind of blown out a little bit, so it doesn't do it justice, but that is Armageddon right over my shoulders there. And unfortunately, I left my TACTACAM batteries at the room, so I only had one, and I put it right there. And then I decided to use my cell phone with my vlog setup for my front camera, and I don't have a waterproof case, so I will probably be putting the camera away here probably for the rest of the float. So if this happens to be the end of the video, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Smash that thumbs up button. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know if you want to see more collabs with the wild man over there, Mr. Alex Rudd Fishing. And then, yeah, some of these short trips where you just catch a few fish and share a few tips and have a few laughs are probably the formula that I'm going to be moving forward with. Like, a lot of times I do these little short trips, and I think if it's not a, epic trip, it's not worth filming. I think I'm just missing the mark. So you guys let me know in the comment section below if you like these little short river fishing trips that are, make up the vast majority of the type of fishing that I like to do in this part of Tennessee, especially when I'm home. So anyway, see you on the next video. Love y'all. Smash that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and do me a favor and share my channel with other folks so that we can help grow the kayak bass fishing family and grow this community. And yeah, see y'all on the next one. Before we head back out on the water, I want to talk to you about my Nines Polarized sunglasses. So Polarized sunglasses are essential equipment for shallow water fishing, but more importantly, they also protect your eyes from flying hooks on missed hook sets, pokes in the eyes from tree limbs when you're going through the woods. So there's more to polarized glasses than just protecting your eyes and being able to see in the water. They're also protecting one of your most valuable assets, your eyes. And the folks from Nines do that better than anybody. You can pick up your 9s and all of your other fishing needs from the folks over at Fish USA, America's tackle shop. Now let's get out there and see if we can't find some fish in shallow water and put these peepers to use.